There we go. I think we're live now. That is so funny. We were live and then we went off, didn't we?
You have to
So
redo your whole.
I hit live and then a message came up. I hit OK and then it went all blank. Okay, so I guess we get to start all over again, people.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, you guys. Well, welcome
That's
to mine and Anne's show, which Anne and Claudine live show. Um, Anne likes calling it would you like calling it the spiritual show? What is it?
I would call it all things spiritual.
All things spiritual. So she likes to
All
call it.
things spiritual.
And just because of marketing reasons, and Anne likes to change the name like every couple months. So, which is fine. I really don't care. But my marketing people, they look at me like, again.
Well, the thing is, I just don't like to say truths. I don't like to, like, I don't like hard truths. I don't like to say that because someone said it to me, oh, it's the truth. And it's like they were saying a real nasty thing. And I just thought, like, what's your truth to my truth to that person's truth? So, yeah,
And
I don't want to
that's,
come across like that.
yeah, and that's kind of my introduction here. We are just two besties. And we've been on the same mission to share the real, raw, and sometimes wild truths of our spirituality journey. We've been partnering together and going through this journey now going on 6 years for both of us. We just had our 5th year anniversary 2 months ago in March that we met. And we're not here to preach, and we are here to be teachers of our truth. How about that? Does that
Mhm.
sound better?
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah. And we have personally together have faced some very uncomfortable parts of healing. And we've come out on the other side of it with a healthier, better, detoxed vessel. And that is our truth of our spirituality. Our spirituality has been way different than what mainstream brings, what new age brings. For us, it's been very physical and it's been about cleaning and detoxing this beautiful vessel that we have. And again, we are here for entertainment purposes only. But what we say and what we teach, we take very seriously. And we are not doctors. We are not nurses. We don't know anything about the Western medical field. We don't know anything about the Australian medical field. All we know is what we've been through anecdotally and what we have done to help other people to reach a higher awareness through their detox and through their healing physically and emotionally and mentally. And we love to talk about energy, energy, energy. And I'm
Yeah.
Claudine. I'm the owner of Elevated by Claudine. I am a physician and I do own my own facility doing what I do. We don't ask for money. We're not trying to be some kind of um what is that word again?
Cult.
No, no, what is it? Influencers. We're not trying to influence
Influencers. Oh,
yeah,
okay.
influencers. We're not trying to do any of that. I do sell products and sells her energy reading, and you can get all that on my website, elevatedbyclaudine.com, for more information about that. And I'm going to go ahead and let Anne go ahead and do her beautiful introduction of who she is and where she comes from.
Hello, I'm Anne. I live in Australia. So you're on one side and I'm on the other side.
Other side, yeah.
I am the future and Claudine is the past because Australia is the first that the sun comes up and we're always a day ahead of you guys. So I'm the future and the past. I work at a Thai restaurant. I work with Claudine, and what I do is I can read energy. I can read energy very well. I think my third eye is very open. I'm not sure, but I can see energy. I can see shadows in people. I can see sickness in people. Um, yeah, I can hear, you know, the energy around you. I can hear different things that maybe that you're going through. I can really see through people and the emotion that they are carrying, whether they want to speak it or not. It's just super obvious to me. So I tend to
Yes.
I like to bubble myself up a lot because it's just you sometimes you just take on too much because you can feel so much, but I've learned real
Yeah.
well working with you, especially on how to protect myself and you
Yeah, well,
know.
we have to. We're in a real war here. I
Hmm.
do believe we are. And I put Anne's information for her Facebook because she's in Australia. So the best way to get a hold of her is through Messenger on Facebook. So I have her information right here. You just have to scan that QR code and you'll go straight to her Facebook page and you can do a friend request. And if she trusts you, she'll probably go ahead and accept it. I don't know. She does her discernment on that one.
I'm
Uh,
I'm pretty chill.
yeah. Yeah, you have a lot of guts. You'll say yes to a lot of people that I would absolutely say absolutely not. No, 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 no,
I
no,
don't.
no, no.
I only put up like I don't know, pole shift stuff and me like spiritual memes or something. So
No, I like what you. Yeah, I like what you
if
post.
they dare enter,
We rarely will post anything personal, you or me.
no.
My page is strictly just for s- entertainment person purposes and to promote my brand.
Hmm.
So, and I
Yeah, you
don't
have
do personal.
product and stuff that you can sell. So
Yeah, I don't
if I
ever
had
put anything
products,
personal. Yeah,
no,
mm-mm.
not
No,
not much. I don't
that's
really.
not our
I've never.
style.
No, I've never really. I used it a little bit when my kids were younger, but I never really got into that whole like putting my life. I actually had quite an abusive, toxic marriage, like sadly, and even when the kids were like growing up, so it was very like trauma filled and stress filled, and just I was in a constant state of like, you know, anyone who's been through any kind of abuse, especially in a marriage, can understand. Like you don't really think about happy things and putting your life on Facebook when behind closed doors. It's like ah, so like I didn't really feel like oh here my life is so wonderful. Take a look at it. I was like being scared back at home. So I didn't put a lot on social media, but I will say I used to look at social media at other people's lives, and I'd always get a lot of depression because I'd always be like, why couldn't I have a marriage like that? And why couldn't I have that type of like family life, just like a normal like? Because everyone just had such happy lives, like on social media. But then I went to therapy, and my therapist told me she's like, just because the house looks all nice and clean when you go there doesn't mean it's like that all the time when you're not there. Like when someone's coming over, you clean up your life because you're scared of like what the judgment, so you make yourself look good. She goes, but when you're not around, you have to understand every house has their way of being. So just because you see it on social media on camera doesn't mean that it's all happy. Just other everyone has a different way of being with that kind of stuff. So
Yeah, I just think that social media is another outlet for people to have their perfect wishful, they because that way they
yeah,
don't really have to put in the work, like if they really
yeah,
wanted that life, then you know, they'd have to put that work in there, put that effort in there. It's just so much easier just to have that fake life on social media,
yeah,
which is
yeah.
fine. I mean, it the ones that drive me nuts are the ones who do selfies every day. Those are the ones, and they're in the bathroom. They're always in a bathroom. I'm like, oh my
No,
goodness gracious.
I
Love
can't.
yourself. Love
I
yourself.
I can't take a selfie. I cannot. I used to be able to, but I cannot. It's so bad. Like people will be like, "Oh, send me a pic." I can't. I'm like, I don't know how I used to do this stuff. Like someone needs to teach me again. Like take a
I have
picture
no
of
clue.
me. I
I
can't
have
do it. it's it's super unnatural for the human to be taking a selfie. Like this is like some new age stuff. We're
yeah,
not meant to be doing this kind of stuff.
yeah. It's not in my
It's so
yeah.
cringe.
It's funny. It's funny. Um,
It's
but
cringy.
I do post pictures of myself every now and then because I let people need to see me. They need to see what I look like.
Yeah,
They need
yeah,
to see that, hey, I practice what I preach. My products are made for me. These are the things that I use. And being a woman of middle age and almost becoming a senior, I know I can't believe I'm even Oh, this is so
That's really
crazy.
funny to hear.
It's really funny. Yeah. I feel good. I look good. I am good. So, we're all going to age out of this planet. It all depends on how you want to age out. And I'm choosing to age out gracefully and peacefully and in good health. That's my thing. I do
Yes.
not want to age out with bad health. That's just not what I want. I don't.
No, no.
I am proud that I can outrun my 7-year-old grandchild. And I always say, if you want to work with me or if you want to hang out with me, you have to have the energy of a 7-year-old because I have such high energy. And that proves it right there.
Mhm.
But the minute that something happens to me, like my sprained ankle last week, just something that simple brings down my energy, and I don't like it. Mm,
Mhm.
mm, mm.
It's
But
okay.
uh, it slows you down, and I'm like, I ain't got time to slow
Mhm.
down. I got to keep going.
Mhm. I know. Do you know what I find so interesting is I was watching on I do watch like reality television. I was watching a Kardashian show and she slams the door on her fingers and she like pretty much chops off her finger, but like they can just save it. So she has to have all the stuff, like all her flesh regrow over because she just like chopped it off. And so she's getting like surgery and the doctor and stuff, but she gives a little secret on the show. She's spending 7 hours a day in a hyperbaric chamber to help with the healing of it, to help speed it up. And I thought that is so interesting. So this is how these famous people and celebs and stuff, they have access to these types of things. seven
Yes.
hours a day to be sitting in a hyperbaric chamber to help your fingers grow back ASAP because you need them because you're a famous person. But I thought that's so that proves to you that when you have these more ways of taking care of your inside your body, like it does make your body heal faster. Like a hyperbaric chamber makes your body feel, so you're sitting in it 7 hours a day. Like I just thought that's how they heal, so and they heal so perfectly. And when it's like, oh, but you have access to all that stuff. But it was interesting. I thought,
Well,
oh,
Tesla has that stuff for sale too. You could buy some of this stuff, and it's very pricey. And there's a lady on TikTok who owns some of this Tesla healing stuff, and she's putting like dead roses next to it, and they come alive within minutes. And
wow, that's
yeah,
amazing.
it's real. It's out there. You know what? Our technology that we're allowed to even know about, like the little bit of AI that they let us have, is just it's a bone, girl. It's just
I
here's
know.
a bone.
I know.
It's
The more money
nothing,
you have,
nothing compared to what they have access to.
yeah,
And that is what makes them supposedly better than us, different than us, because they have
superior.
access to this stuff. Yeah. And it's not fair because it's not just for them. It's not. It wasn't created, it wasn't brought here just for them. But hey, they do what they do. And that's kind of what we're talking about today. We're talking about another huge subject here. About parasites again. We talk about parasites all the time.
Parasites. Mhm.
Yeah. Um, and this is such a broad subject, you guys. I really like talking about astro parasites. Um, and there's a lot of information out there if you look, if you dig, if you know where to, who to listen to. There have been books read about I'm sorry, written about different types of parasites, because some people, even though a lot of people can't see them or feel them or hear them, there are a lot of people who can.
Mhm.
And I know I am one of those people.
Mhm.
And I have never wrote a book about it, but I know there's a lot of books out there that have been written about this kind of stuff. And I just really like this subject a lot. We've got astral entities. We've got parasite archons on this earth. We've got cyborgs. I mean, these are just a couple that I've done my fair share of research on, and it's all real. It's very real stuff, you guys. I wouldn't say another word, but
It
And
is.
again, it's all anecdotal knowledge. You
Well,
yeah, all you can do is just what feels good to you or feels right for you, feels right for you. Maybe you're one of those people who have actually seen something out there and you were shut down, it happens.
mm-hmm.
So, um it's very hard for the human to perceive something that they can't touch, feel, see, the logical brain. So that's a very normal thing. But a lot of, but that doesn't mean it doesn't exist. So, um,
The parasites exist. We do see them. We are now getting shown that we can't see them so much for our physical eye very well, but now that we have social media and stuff and people can fish them out and show them, we are getting to see that these things are existing inside of our bodies. Like we have enough AI to be sending out the the images for our eyes to see
for the
that these
astral entity, well, I'm talking about that, like astral entities. Those are
the
kind of
astral
those
energy,
pairs,
yeah,
astral and parasite entities, creatures,
that are
whatever.
connected to the parasites.
Yeah, yes,
Mhm.
connected to parasites,
Mhm.
the
Yeah,
archons, and
yeah.
those ones there aren't so much in plain sight, but they're there. They are there, and those are the ones that are are scary.
Hmm.
Um, I mean, everything that exists on this planet, there's so much going on in this planet. And you guys, I just want to fair warn you guys, and if my screen goes blank, I'm gonna have to hop onto my phone because for some reason my battery just all of a sudden went drained really fast and it was fully charged before we got started.
Uh-oh.
But I got back up, I got my phone. So I'm like looking at my battery on my thing. I'm like, whoa, where the heck did all my battery go? But oh well, it is what it is.
Mhm.
I'll jump on my phone if I need to. Okay, so which parasites do you want to talk about first?
Well, I don't really know parasites the way you do. Like you really understand this subject. Really, what I wanted to talk about parasites is like there's so much information out there at the moment about the parasites, and there's so many different detoxes and so many different, you know, oh, do this, do that, do this. I think it gets, I get a lot of people that come to me and like ask me, how do I detox? Oh, ivermectin. Oh, should I get this? Should I get that? For me, with my parasites, I I have chosen to stick to all whatever I can find naturally. So, you know, cloves, pumpkin seed, papaya seeds, black walnut, wormwood, all for me, because it's natural. I feel like, well, it's going to be safer for my body, and my liver is very like sensitive and my whole digestive system, so that to me is safest. But then I've also learned that you have to have a binder, and this is super important. And I think there's a lot of people talking about getting rid of the parasites and killing the parasites, but there's not a lot of people saying, but if you're doing that, you also have to have a binder. Because if you don't have a binder, the killing off of the parasites alone can make you more sick because of all the toxins they release when they die, all the die off and everything, plus the heavy metals that are still sitting in your body, from which is why they're there in the first place. All of that in your body can make you really sick, and that's not good. So, have a couple binders, and just some information on how to do it. And I think I'm for anyone who, like, if anyone listens and it can help them be a bit clearer, be a bit safer in how we're getting rid of them and stuff, so we're not just going and having a bunch of die off and then ending up sicker but not understanding, why am I sicker? I did a parasite cleanse, so. But I think you're much more knowledgeable about that kind of stuff, Claudine. Mine is all just experience, like my experience from having a parasite, a very bad parasite infection that kind of exploded all of a sudden and made me super sick. And then how I've tackled that issue and how I've helped my body heal from the issue, how I've slowly tried to get rid of of any parasite. I don't know all the different there's so many, but I just eat and I make my lifestyle clean to try and keep my body free flowing from what, you know, from these parasites. And that's how I do it. But you have more like inside knowledge, like, you know, the different parasites, you know, the different reasons that we'll crave things because of those parasites, or I guess that's understanding which parasite, you know, we're dealing with. You just have a better understanding and
Because
expert
I am the
people.
fungus. I am the mushroom lady.
Yes, exactly. You have such a deep, deep knowledge of the human body and everything. So, yeah, I'm not going
I
to speak on that stuff.
Those are just my gifts. Those are just my gifts that I have, that I'm able to understand this, and it comes real quick to me. If it's something I haven't heard, or something I don't know, the minute that I'm able to recognize it, collide with something or someone about it, I'm able to get that vision of what I need to see, because it's because of my detox. I have a straight connection. I have a straight connection to Mother Nature. I have a straight connection to Source. And that's just how I get these visions. And then I'm able to connect. And I talk with a lot of these types of different entities and astral parasites and physical parasites. We've got we got our fluke parasites. We have so many, but I don't know where we should start. I can do a
We'll
rundown.
start with the
Uh,
easier ones, like the maybe like the, I don't know, the flukes, like the liver ones, the ones that we can flush out easy, like the ones that will more or less easily come out with the pump, with papaya seeds, pumpkin seeds, all the natural stuff that we use, like those parasites that we'll see, like the whole ivermectin thing. I think I like to stay away from it. Like I have a lot of people come and say, "Should I get that? Should I get ivermectin? Is that going to fix it?" I don't like to speak on it because I've never used it. It is a chemical. Now they're saying that make sure you get one that doesn't have this and this and this in it. Otherwise, that can make you. So I stay away from all that. Like I said, I'll stay with all the natural stuff. So maybe like those kinds of parasites, like, you know, the ones that are sitting in our bodies, like, you know, in our livers, like flukes and stuff that are just
Okay, so
making
you want to
you
okay,
sick.
you want to talk about the human. Okay, so you guys, I have a lot of notes here. I'm a writer. I write things down, because if I didn't, I mean, I can only retain so much information. And again, like I had just said earlier when we thought we started our live, I've seen 6 people today. So from not 10 o'clock this morning until 5 o'clock, I've helped 6 different people, and it's always about parasites. It's always about their inflammation, their pain, their traumas. So yeah, I write stuff down, and then okay, we can get started on that. Again, I do all kinds of different types of parasites. They go from energetic, from the astro,
Mm-hmm.
cosmo parasites, the ones that attach and get on you through your aura.
Mm-hmm.
We've got those ones. And then, so she wants to talk about the ones that get through your aura and get physically inside of you and start to do damage on you. And
And make you
first of
sick.
all, they make you physically sick, and every single disease that exists on this planet or in your body are caused by a parasite.
Mm-hmm.
It starts in the colon and then the gut. And sometimes I'm learning this past year, what I've learned is it also can start in the mouth. If the
Mm-hmm.
mouth creates plaque, people,
Mm-hmm.
if your mouth can create plaque, then it can create heart disease. Where
Mm-hmm.
does, come on, it's common sense here. All right.
Oh,
So,
absolutely. That makes
mhm.
so much sense.
Hello. Yeah, I learned that one just recently. That I had that vision on that one. I think it like around Christmas time, and I was like, oh, dang. Oh, heck yeah. I
Mm-hmm.
get that one's for real. So the mouth is a very, is a breeding ground for parasitics too.
Oh,
Plus, what comes out?
oh.
Words.
Mm-hmm.
Words are the most powerful energy that you have. I mean,
I know.
words are words are going to either be, they're either going to be high energy or low energy. Come on now. This is
And it's,
all real. Mhm.
I'm of the opinion that since 2020, and it's just increasing every year, I'm watching people say things and literally watching it happen to them within like weeks. And I'm just
Mhm.
thinking, don't say that. Like, I feel like words are manifesting a lot faster nowadays than pre 2020. Like something is going on. Like my boyfriend, he said to me a week or 2 weeks before he had his injury, he goes, "Oh, I wish I could just like break my hand or something so I can just sit on compo and be at home." And literally, not long after, he smushed his finger, and I'm just going. And when he said it, I thought, "Oh, don't say that! Like that's And I had visions. I'm like, make sure you wear a glove. Like always wear gloves." And he was wearing a glove, otherwise he probably would have lost his finger. But I watched a week, 2 weeks later, he's on compo with a smushed finger. So I'm like, be careful what you speak, everyone.
Well, I have heard by other people that are very much into this golden age era thing, and that in these new going into this new era, that these are things that are going to happen to people because they won't be able to deny that we are in different types of energy and that we are rising on this planet in energy. So
New Earth.
it makes total sense, yeah, that these kind of things are people will be able to manifest good or bad faster. That way
Yeah.
they just can't deny with what's going on this planet. So it makes complete sense if you're seeing all of this. I can see that. Um, now, the way that uh, everything holds a frequency, everything holds a vibration, you guys. And the way that these parasites get attached to you is because there's a compatibility frequency that you are sharing with this entity, and you're giving it a climate, you're giving it a breeding ground, especially once it enters your body. And that's, like I said, that's, where disease starts and inflammation. So um mine okay, so where I like to start with this is, let's go ahead and let's start with the candida spit test.
Candida. Yep.
Candida. Okay, now I'd like to talk about Candida because it's a very common one. That is a parasite that I'm going to say at least 99% of the humans on this body probably, I mean, humans on this planet probably carry that parasite. Okay. Well, it's more of a yeast.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It's a yeast, not so much of a parasite, but it's still a fungus. That's a fungus.
Mm-hmm.
It's still in all the realm of, of a parasite. It can take over your body. And when you want to do candida spit test, what you want to do is you want to wake up, you want to get a fresh glass of water. Just fill it up, just, about 3 inches of water, 4 inches of water, maybe, and you're going to spit into it.
Mm-hmm.
I wish I had pictures of it. You guys can always Google this stuff too, the candida spit test. And leave it for a few minutes, about 10 or 15 minutes. And when you come back, or immediately, you'll start to see it like it's growing. You've got like these long loogies, I guess you can kind of say, stringy things. You've done the candida spit test. I know
I
because you sent
haven't.
me
Have
pictures
I?
of
Oh,
yours
I don't remember. I definitely
years
had
ago.
candida.
You
I
did
know.
that. This was like 2 or 3 years ago. We were spitting in the cup, seeing if we had it. And then the second thing is, and if you do, and it's in the cup and you can see the long white strips, then that's positive. And then again, if you have white on your tongue, then you've got a candida overgrowth that's come through your esophagus up through your tongue. So that's a second way of knowing if you had candida.
Mm-hmm.
Yeast infection. If you have psoriasis, if you have any kind of skin rash, um, that is candida. Uh, feet fungal, athletic foot, all that stuff
Mm-hmm.
is a candida parasite. Now, my number one suggestion to everybody, if you're going to start a parasite cleanse, get off the sugar.
Mm-hmm.
Stop the sugar. You got cancer, get off the sugar. That I don't know how more to
It's true. No
nothing's
sugar.
going to work. Nothing's going to heal. None of this stuff that you're going to do isn't going to work as effective if
Yeah.
you don't
It
get
just
off the
isn't.
sugar.
No. Food, like when you say that disease comes through the mouth, it absolutely does, because what we eat too also feeds our bodies, and feeds infections and feeds disease in our body. If you're eating tons and tons and tons of processed sugar, you're just feeding these things inside your body to just flourish and then have the best environments and
You're
just keep
really giving the best
living and
environment.
breathing. You
And
are.
I don't
You
I
are.
don't care if you got whipworm, tapeworm, nomads, prosotos, um, flukes, roundworms, hookworms. I don't care what kind of parasites you have.
They all love sugar.
They all love sugar.
They love sugar.
They
They
all
do.
and they yep, they all do. And what happens is and you can get candida in your blood. Candida can transfer into the blood. And the way that it does that, what I have seen, the way that it travels through the blood is let me go back to this. I cannot remember how that happened, how I saw that vision, but hold on, I'll come back to it. But let's keep going, okay? But it can get into the blood.
Mhm.
Um, it feeds off of yeast, sugar, and carbs.
Mhm. And starch. Well, that's.
Yeah, starch. It comes from the body naturally makes yeast, and
Mhm.
starch comes from yeast. So you have good candida, you have bad candida. So what it is you want to balance that out.
Mhm.
And and they will fill your mind with self-destructive thoughts.
Mhm.
They will alter your behavior.
Mhm.
Weight gain, especially in the midsection.
Mhm.
Sexual desires. It'll
Mhm.
hijack your nervous system. That's that once it's hijacked your nervous system, it's gotten into your brain
Yeah.
and in your lymphatic system in your ears.
Yeah. So what happened to me?
Uh-huh. And you feel tired and diminished, and your ambitions and your spiritual gifts will lack. They won't come out.
No. No.
So I'm really sorry that I can't remember the vision of how it gets into the blood, but it does. It'll get into the blood. And that's what happened was I don't write things down right after I have visions or something like that. So anyways, and that's not, that's not a good
It
thing
wouldn't be
at
good.
all. Mm-hmm.
No.
Mm-hmm. So that's candida for you. And the way you want to get rid of candida is get off the sugars. Get on a good liver cleanse. Start cleaning that liver.
Mhm. Absolutely. Clean the liver.
Mm-hmm.
Get
Mm-hmm.
the
What are some of
liver.
the stuff that you've done to get rid of your candida?
Um, I eat a lot of cloves. I do that. I stay away from sugar. That's a big one, especially like processed sugar. I stay right away from anything. Like if I'm gonna eat sugar, it'll be fruit. Like I eat this dried mango that's like proper fresh mango that's been dried, and it's really sweet. And even then, I go, oh, like I feel guilty. So I won't drink Coke, like anything like that. Like stay away from the sugar. I can really feel sugar feed parasites and candida in the body. Like I can just feel it in my lymphatic system. I start feeling much weirder. I have a lot more like phlegm that flows around. Like everything feels weird. Um, I have cloves. I'm always doing parasite cleanses. So I don't know if it's like for candida, but like I do papaya seeds pretty much every day. What else do I eat? Cloves is the big one. I just get the fresh cloves and chew it, like, and swallow it whole, swallow it, after chewing it. Try to get all that feeling.
And
And
cloves is what kills the babies, where they live inside of the sac,
mhm,
because they literally will, yeah, they have babies inside of you. So that's what that does. And there's an herb called Partiarco. That is a great detoxer. And I do have this stuff on my website, you guys. So if you guys want to go to my website and order my candida uh, tea. I do have that available. Let me get my thing. There we go. So that, and then reishi is a mushroom that helps with that too. And your
Mhm.
best thing is to go on a candida diet. And that's where you just go on a high fat diet.
Mm.
Everything fat.
Okay.
Stay away from the carbs, the sugars, the
Mm.
yeast, all that stuff. Stay off of that. Get aggressive, and that will help. Fasting helps a lot.
Yeah.
Um,
I drink a lot of binders. I'm always trying to dry out and detox all the like heavy metals and toxins in my body. That's probably the biggest thing that I do and I find is most has been most helpful so far with my lymphatic system is just binders. Like I drink that diatomaceous earth like every day. I have charcoal pretty much every day. I take breaks from charcoal just because charcoal's it gets rid of a lot of the nutrients and stuff. So I'll start feeling a little bit like sluggish and tired if I have too much charcoal, and I guess that's just my body doesn't have enough nutrients, like my liver's not getting all its nutrients. So I'll give myself like a solid week of just heaps of beetroot, heaps of celery, heaps of protein, moringa powder, and I just like try and fuel all that back into my liver, my organs, my body, and I start feeling a lot more like energetic and stuff. So yeah, that's with charcoal. I just be careful, but I drink that. I have psyllium husk, and I have the three different binders, and I'm thinking of doing zeolite, but I find that has made so much difference to my
it,
body.
it will, it will. When you go on a candida diet, it's everything that's anti-parasitic, which is
Mm-hmm,
fermented food,
mm-hmm,
kimchi, sauerkraut, pickles, all that stuff. Vinegar
mm-hmm.
water is another thing that is really good.
Okay.
Kefir. Kefir is another
Yeah,
thing that's a
I
really
have
good
that.
dairy. I just drank my kefir before I came on this show, and that's another really good thing to do. Like I said, really good high fats.
Mm-hmm,
Another one, she's right. So you want to get a binder. Whenever you're doing this, you want to get a binder. Another thing that's really good is to get the papaya,
mm-hmm,
scrape out the seeds, and take those early morning,
mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what I
uh,
do.
and as
I eat,
much through the day.
yeah. I eat my papaya seeds. I at least eat them every other day, if not every
Mm-hmm,
day. I'm just always
mm-hmm,
putting them. I know papaya seeds work because I sometimes get papaya seeds that come out with a bunch of like biofilm, and I can tell it's like some kind of like parasite nest, and it will just be all wrapped in with a bunch of papaya seeds through it too. So it's like, and that's what they say is the papaya seeds are like magnets, and it's like you don't chew them, you swallow them whole, and it's like a magnet for the parasites, and it magnetizes them and they get stuck to the papaya seeds and then they come out in your poop. And I believe that because I've seen it, like, and I see it's got little
mm-hmm.
papaya seeds all through it, but it's like it's like some kind of nest or something that it's attached to it and gets rid of them.
I've got
So
some pictures to show. I can show some pictures of the
yeah.
candida that's come out of me and what it looks like. I have plenty of pictures of that. Oregano oil is something else that you want to use. Oregano oil is really, really good. Oregano capsules. And I have all this on my website, you guys. I have my QR card there. Garlic, they don't like garlic, so you can take
Mhm.
whole garlics if you want to.
Don't cook it.
I don't do the garlic thing. I haven't had to. I haven't been called to do that one. But I do have clients sometimes who do need to take the garlic, and it works really well for them. Everyone's system's different. So
Mhm.
these invaders are going to react differently to different stuff for all of us, and the time we take them and when we take them. Taking all this stuff on a fast is great. You want to break your fast. Fasting is going to be key. No sugar, and fasting is key, and high fat diet on this one. They don't like cinnamon. Um,
Mhm. I've heard
yeah,
that.
they don't like cinnamon. I don't do. I did the cinnamon one time, and oh my gosh, it made me so sick. I couldn't. I can't. Cinnamon for some reason makes me very nauseous, and I don't know why.
Mm.
So I
I
can't.
don't like cinnamon very much. I'm thinking, is that the parasites in me that don't like the cinnamon? because I don't like cinnamon very much.
Yeah, I don't like throwing up over the toilet either. So I do have to, they literally make me physically vomit. And so I've stayed away from the cinnamon. My body just doesn't do well on
Maybe
it.
you should make cinnamon capsules and just be able to swallow them.
That's what I was taking was the cinnamon capsules, and
Oh, and they
it
feel
was
like
too
it's
much.
thick.
But I can have a
Interesting.
little bit of cinnamon, like, because I do, and milk thistle with the Partiarco. And then I can add some cinnamon to that. That is fine. That is all in my Partiarco tea. So that is a really good Partiarco is probably the best herb you can take. It kills it. It flushes it right out. That is I love it. I really like that one. And it tastes good. It That's most important because it's
Mm.
very hard to
Oh,
do all this stuff because this stuff doesn't ever taste very good.
oh, it doesn't.
Uh,
chewing,
it
chewing,
doesn't.
chewing whole cloves is not like the most tastiest thing to do. So,
Yeah.
but I'll do it for the parasites. I'll kill them with whatever it takes when it's
Same.
natural.
As long as I'm not throwing up and hurling over the
Yeah.
toilet, I just don't have time for that. And that is what I had heard about ivermectin, that if you take ivermectin, now I've got a lot of clients who swear by that and they do that quite often. And
Mhm.
I'm not opposed to it. I actually started doing ivermectin myself.
Mhm.
Um Now, I've been doing it on and off for probably about a month. No, 3 weeks, about 3 weeks.
Mhm.
And it is not that harsh. I've heard some horror stories from some people, and it
Well,
has
maybe that's
helped.
because you don't have many.
hmm This is the thing about the ivermectin that I like about it is if there's a couple of days that I'm really busy and I've got a lot going on, I like to take about an eraser size. Okay. And I take a little quarter of that. I put that around my mouth because, again, we've got parasites that are all over.
Mm.
And I feel like that's a straight absorption straight to the brain, whew,
Yep.
to the
Yep. No,
ears,
that
right?
makes
And
sense.
then
Yep.
I take the rest of it and I just swallow that.
Hmm.
And you're not supposed to take any binders. You're not supposed to take any herbs or anything along with this. That's it.
Okay.
You just take that, and that is all you do. And that is what I like about that. And then within about 2 to 3 hours, it comes out. And I've had some pretty suspicious things come out, some pretty
Ah.
gnarly things, not anything compared to what was coming out prior to that. Um, and then around 4 hours after taking it, then you take the binders.
Ah. How long?
About 4 hours later, you take the
4 hours
binders.
after.
And
Okay.
then I've had another flush after that. So
Ah. I like
so
to
when
try that.
Yeah, I'll send you some. I just ordered a tons of it. I will be selling some of it here at my facility just because I get clients if I feel like I think you need ivermectin, and the first thing is, do you have it? They always ask me, do you have it? Because they don't want to go
Yeah.
shopping around.
Yeah.
They don't. They don't.
No.
So
No.
I try to carry everything I can for a fair
That's so
price
good.
because you can get ivermectin for very, 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 very reasonable price. It is a horse. It's for horses, you guys. Ivermectin is a horse detox, parasite detox.
Parasite detox.
Yep.
Yeah, I see a lot of people talk about it and doing it. Then I seen like, oh, but don't have this, don't have graphene oxide. Don't make sure it doesn't have graphene oxide in it and some other chemical in ivermectin in this thing. And I just went, oh, I don't really understand it. So, but yeah, if it was a place like you where it's like I know I can trust it, I would definitely go and try it. And it's so much better when you have someone who can who can teach you how to do it properly, because I think that's probably the trickiest part of the parasite extraction is knowing how to do it properly, safest and properly. Because you can't just take the one thing and that's going to fit. You know, you have to have your binders, and it's how long after you take it to
You're
where the time.
absolutely right. The
So,
binders are very important. You can get very, very sick if you don't have those binders. And there's a
yeah.
lot of different types of binders. And like I said, the binders are all based on each and every individual body, their
Mm-hmm.
energy field.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Everyone
Yeah,
has
once you add those, once
hemoglobin
you
to
get
them.
those binders going, things really start to flush. I
Mm.
actually did I came up with a 3-day parasite 3-day parasite challenge.
Hmm.
So for a lot of naysayers, they're like, yeah, whatever, okay, yeah, I don't got parasites. I mean, there's a lot of people out there that, think I'm crazy or whatever. I'll go, hey, I'll challenge you, go on this for 3 days. And if you don't give birth to something suspicious, then I guess I'm wrong. And
Everyone, they all have parasites. They're the
oh,
worst ones.
indeed, 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 indeed. And you get someone to do this 3-day challenge that I've come up with, and they actually do it, and they'll come to back to me, and they're like,
there's, there's a
what is this?
there's like different tests and stuff like now you can do like something like about sesame seeds. I have to save it next time I see it, but you eat like a 3 tablespoons or something of sesame seeds, and if you don't see much of the sesame seeds come out within the next 72 hours, you have parasites. Like you can do things, and I can't remember exactly what it was, but you can do these like different tests and to test to see if you have like parasites in your body. But I think it's safe to say that people have parasites in their body. Like I'm just, for me, my conviction becomes stronger with this whole parasite thing because of what I went through. Like I never ever knew what parasite. I didn't. That whole conversation did not exist for me. The whole parasite conversation. I just got really sick all of a sudden, really quickly, really rapidly, and I couldn't breathe, and my body was like had all this physical stuff happening, but no one could tell me. I was going to doctors, I was going to emergency, I was going to all kinds of physicians, acupuncture, everyone, and no one could give me a exact explanation to what was happening inside my body. Like nobody could. They could all just go, "Oh yeah, there's something wrong with you." But nobody could tell me what was wrong. And it was like, "Do this,
Oh,
do
they
this."
never can. That same thing.
Oh,
Same,
but it
same.
but really, it came down to I had a very bad parasite infection. It started from like a basic parasite infection, which came from ticks and stuff from when I was younger. That definitely was like the major one. But then there's like all the other parasites that were in my body was very what I understood about my physical body. My physical body was very damp. It was so damp. It had blockages. I had a super bad blockage in my liver. I had blockages, and they run through your whole entire body. Like I was becoming arthritic in parts of my body because I had these blockages, like in my back, in my knee, in my parts of my feet, and that's because my fascia was like just all messed up, and the very simple thing it was that I needed to clean out was toxins, heavy metals, and parasites. And ever since I've done that, my body has healed, and this is why I have such a strong conviction to saying it, because my physical body has actually healed by dealing with the issue of parasites and toxins in the body. And no doctor. I had some acupuncturists who could kind of help me because but they didn't know how to tackle the parasite issue. They would tell me, you have a digestive issue going on, you have this dampness going on. It is probably parasites, but no one could teach me how to kill them, how to get rid of them, how to get rid of the toxins. I met you. That's something you're into, so I listen to what you say, and I keep my ears out for other things, and I try to have create some kind of pattern to dealing with this issue with the parasites and the toxins and the things, the detoxes that I use. But it's worked. So that's why I say we all have parasites. Even if it was a tick bite that you got when you were 10 years old, if you had a tick bite, they say you should go and have a parasite cleanse, because anyone who's been bitten by a tick will have a parasite in them from that tick bite, because that's
And
what's what the tick
any
does.
kind of bite. I mean,
Yeah,
ticks,
any kind of bite.
ticks are ticks were created as archons. They're one
Yeah.
of the archons on this planet. And the minute they bite you, they release their eggs. The same thing as a mosquito. As the
Yeah.
minute a mosquito bites you, it releases its eggs inside of you. So I know everyone's been bitten by a mosquito, so they can't
Mhm.
deny it. And another thing that I want to stress that's really important is that the way that parasites hang on to the inside of your body is from heavy metals.
Yeah.
It all starts with the heavy metals, which forms the biofilm. They live and hide in the biofilm. That is why they are not detected on test, especially like um, ultrasounds.
Mhm.
hmm So X-rays, they hide in these
Oh,
biofilms. That's why it's so hard for them to get detected. Now, here is some pictures of some candida that has come out of me,
goodness
and
gracious.
that is some biofilm. Yes, that it did come out with the biofilm. Here's a closer up picture of it of them.
Mm,
hmm
mhm.
That
Yucky.
almost looks like an X-ray picture, huh? But no, that's straight from the toilet with me zooming in. Here they are, just kind of swimming in the toilet. They come out by themselves. So, you definitely know it's because most parasites will come out by themselves because of the binders. The binders bring them out. You will
Yeah.
take a full bowel movement and nothing. Now you can fish through your bowel movement if you want to, but with me, I have to say I'm very lucky because mine come out by themselves. It's a whole protocol that they do. It's so funny. Um, but heavy and the way that heavy metals are put onto us, you guys, this is a battle that you can't just flush these out and think, oh, I'm good, I'm clean, and then go back to life. It don't work like that. I mean, you can go
It's
back to
hard.
sleep and go back to your habits, but they're going to come right back because now you've created another environment again for your body to be a host.
Mhm.
Because chemtrails
Mhm.
chemtrails, that is what they're spraying on us, people. They are spraying nanobots on us. They are spraying these things on us to leach onto our skin. We are breathing these in every day. We have to breathe.
Mhm.
So this is how they're getting in on us, and they attach to us. And if you don't believe me about this type of stuff, go outside, get yourself a really good magnet ball, go outside and go play in the dirt. Bring that magnet out of the dirt, and you're going to see these little fuzzy things on there, and it's like it's a really soft type of a sand.
Mhm.
Yeah, those
Them
are the
nanobots.
nanobots and the nano stuff that they're throwing on us.
Mhm. Yeah, there's going to be people that don't believe this, Claudine. It's just the way it is.
It's
But
just the way it is. It's
it
just
is
the
just
way.
it's frustrating. I just don't even get like bothered by it anymore. But for the people that like want to understand and how do these things get in us? These things do exist. Like we see chemtrails. We know chemtrails exist. You know that you're not a cloud doesn't look like a long shape in the sky. Some of the stuff we get in the sky, it's not a bunch of planes flying by. It's not a bunch of invisible aircrafts that we can't see flying. It's chemtrails, and
hmm Nova
that's
hi
hi
Nova.
Nova.
Yeah, and the lighter we are and the cleaner we are, the more they want to fest in your body. Oh yeah,
Oh
this is a
yes.
battle for me because I'm pretty detoxed. I'm very well aware of these parasites. I in archons and space aliens and everything that we have out there. So I live a very, very clean lifestyle. Um, so that is pretty much the candida parasite, which I think is a really good place to start. Like I said, especially if you have skin issues, um, it could be as easy as just starting some clove and turmeric and partiarco teas, and fasting and getting off the sugars. And then you'll really start to see a difference. You get off the refined sugars, and I'm not saying don't. You can have a little bit of fruits and natural sugars. That's fine.
Hmm. It's the
The body
processed
still, yeah,
sugar.
yeah. It's the processed sugars and the
Yeah.
processed foods that are,
Yeah.
McDonald's and all that stuff. Um, Now we could talk about the flukes.
Flukes
Okay.
make you feel sick.
Huh?
The flukes make you feel sick. That's what I will say about flukes. They just make you feel really, really sick in the liver. Your liver doesn't feel good when there's flukes just on your liver. Your energy levels are gonna be shit. Your like you're just gonna feel really heavy in the body when you have flukes. Like you don't your energy levels, you're gonna have the black eyes underneath. Like I reckon I when I had flukes come out, I had so many. I thought it was like mushed up papaya, like it was just that many. Or I had a big bowl of oats. I'm like, what is this? But I've learned that they're flukes. But I would say my energy was super noticeable, especially like, you know, that more like deeper energy. Like, you know, when you just wake up and you just don't want to get out of bed and you're just like, ugh. I found the flukes made me feel like that a lot. Like I don't, yeah, they made me feel real sick.
Um, flukes live in the liver.
Mm-hmm.
And they also target other organs, um, especially the liver, the lungs.
Mm-hmm.
They have you get cravings that reflect the body's attempt to restore balance. So it's really hard to restore balance. You crave fatty foods like fried foods.
Mm-hmm.
They make the body struggle to process and obtain fats and
Mm-hmm.
bitter foods like greens, kale, arugula,
Mm-hmm.
and the liver will struggle to detoxify when you have flukes in them. Okay, so I know that I had flukes in mine. I've had fatty liver. I have had um, some liver issues myself, being so uncomfortable, not having no clue that my liver was infested with these.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I had a big ones. I'll be showing you guys pictures. Um,
Yeah,
Okay,
they don't
they
like
do
it.
like protein-rich foods. Flukes can damage your tissues and cause protein loss. So if you're not like getting the muscle mass you want, you're working out, you're trying to lose weight, flukes will stop that from happening.
Mm-hmm. That makes so much sense.
Yep,
All
they
of
will. Yep,
sense.
yep, they will because they're stealing all that energy from you. Um, they sugars and carbs is what they feed off of. Um, so they like glucose for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Um, they like you can crave spicy or sour foods, especially like those citric sour candies,
Mm-hmm.
um, like sour gummy bears and all that stuff that they have out. You'll crave that type of sugar,
Okay. Yeah.
um, and it'll screw up your digestive system big time.
Mm-hmm.
Um, they also can come from raw fish, so you got to be really careful if you eat. That's
You
one of the
do.
number one place. Yeah, if you eat raw
That's the
fish
yeah.
or any
That's the
seafood.
yeah. It's kind of like when you see how much like how much parasites can attack you from eating raw fish. It makes you not want to eat raw fish again. Like it's really bad. Like I
Yeah, but fish, I believe. Okay, so I don't eat meat at all. I am not a meat eater, you guys. I don't like land meat at all, but I will eat a fish that is freshly caught because I know that my body needs fat to the brain, needs that kind of a fat. I am human. I am a 3D human with a human body, and there's times when I do crave
eat it
fish.
raw.
And huh?
Would you eat it
No,
raw? No.
no, I'm the type of person who I overcook it.
Yeah, I'm the same now. I won't eat raw fish. Ever since I've seen what happens to people's bodies, like I saw this one Japanese man went to the doctor because he didn't feel good, and so they took an X-ray of his body, and the X-ray of like all the parasites in his body from head to toe was just, and all he ate was raw fish because he was Japanese. But I was like, oh, I'm not eating raw fish again. Like nasty, like too many parasites. I wouldn't eat raw.
Yeah, no, just get off. Yeah, don't, try to get away from the sushi. That's where a lot of these flukes come from. Um, they now to get rid of them again, get off the sugar, get off a high fat diet, fasting. All of this same protocol works for all of these parasites. Now, the things that kill them instantly and they do not like again is the papaya seeds,
Mm-hmm.
wormwood,
Mm-hmm.
dandelion,
Mm-hmm.
because the name of the game in this is to flush the liver detox.
Yeah,
So we
exactly.
do, yep. So we do a liver detox. Again, I have liver detox capsules and I have the tea and I have all this stuff in there. You use the cloves,
Mm-hmm.
black walnut.
Black
I
walnut.
will be making, yep, I'm going to start a black walnut tincture here. I'm looking for some growers right now for black walnuts because they grow on the other side of America.
Mm-hmm.
Um, neem, they don't like neem.
What's that mean? Might write
Neem,
this one.
yeah, it's an herb. Neem is an
Okay.
herb. Um,
How do you spell
it
it?
NEEM.
N E E M.
EEM. Yeah.
Okay.
And
Okay.
cloves, they hate
Yeah.
cloves. They don't like cloves. They don't like oregano. Um, black seed oil is another really good one. Okay. And then another thing for the binder, again, you have to use a binder on this one too. I feel the really good binder that works on the that worked for me and has worked for my clients is charcoal.
Charcoal. Yes. Charcoal
Charcoal.
does work
Hmm.
really well.
It's a
I like.
powerful one.
Yeah. The only problem with charcoal, like I said, is it does flush out nutrients too. So when you're taking if you're taking over a prolonged period of time, you might find your energy levels start to go a bit dip a
Take the
bit because you're just
chlorophyll. Then you add
yeah.
the chlorophyll. Add the chlorophyll to it and spirulina, and that will help because of the blood,
Okay.
it's
Yeah.
cleaning the blood. So
Yeah.
to add that back in there, get on the chlorophyll, and you'll start feeling great again.
Okay.
So I always have the regimen where you take a spoonful of grinded up cloves
Mm-hmm.
down the hatch first thing
Mm-hmm.
in the morning,
Mm-hmm.
and then take the chlorophyll with it. And then don't ever take the regimen of any of these, the wormwood, all of that stuff, the dandelion, all of that. Don't take that the same time with the binders. You want to take the binders always a couple hours later.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, because
Exactly.
remember, these parasites are smarter than you. They are way smarter than you. So they know how to hide, how to get away from this stuff. But what my regimens do is it gets to the biofilm. That's what you want to do. You want to get to the biofilm. You get to the biofilm and you got rid of the whole entire home.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
Great.
yeah, that's the best thing right there.
Get rid of
Okay.
the nest.
And then you swallow those papaya seeds. Oh my gosh. Oh, they hate the papaya seeds with the fresh clove. Oh, you can feel them as soon as all this stuff hits your stomach and your liver starts digesting it, you start feeling things moving.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you can't deny it. You
Yeah.
cannot. I've never had a client deny that to me. They're like, holy, they'll call me, they'll text me, like, what the hell's going on? I'm like, yeah.
Mm. I even find people I even find people who haven't done parasite cleanses like that go, "Oh, sometimes I feel my stomach move. It's like there's something alive inside it." It's like, "Yeah,
You feel
it's your
gassy.
parasite."
Yeah, if you're bloated and you feel gassy after your eat, those are parasites. That's usually the fluke. And then another thing that happens that I always forget to talk about is die off.
Mhm.
You know that the regimens are working when you start to have what I call die off. And that is when you'll get very nauseous because they die inside of you. And when they die inside of you, they release a toxin.
Mhm.
And then when that biofilm becomes unattached to wherever they're hiding, your liver, your small, your large intestines, your lily. I've had some in my lilium. which is where your enzymes, that's a part of where your small intestines next to where your enzymes are
Mhm.
distributed. And that was highly infected with parasites. Mine was. And I got that all cleaned out. And so you'll have die off. So that's a good thing. But oh, you get so nauseous. You are so nauseous for a couple of weeks, but it does pass. But that's it's all a good thing because you know that it's working.
Yeah.
Um, now let me see. Okay, go ahead and you go ahead and do some talking. Now I'm going to try and find some good pictures of my fluke.
I don't know what to talk about. Just make sure you have your binders. That is
Yeah,
my that's my number one. Like whenever anyone comes to me and talks to me about parasites and oh, should I start doing this and taking that? I just always because I feel like I did a lot of like I was taking eating a lot of stuff to kill off parasites, but I actually found that I was getting more bloated. I was feeling sicker. I was feeling more, and I'm like, but I'm eating all this stuff for parasites. But then I found out, well, you have to have a binder for that. You can't just have kill off. It's all just going to sit in your body, and the toxins are just going to sit in there, and all the dead shit is going to be sitting in there, and it's actually going to make you sicker. It's going to bloat you. It can be super dangerous for your health. And I kind of went, oh, so then I
you
just
can
started.
cause more disease. You can cause more disease. So
Yes,
yeah, you're right. The binders are,
yes,
and it's as simple as just doing um diatomaceous earth. You can get some diatomaceous earth. I mean, this is very inexpensive stuff.
mm-hmm.
Charcoal, just
Charcoal.
real,
Yeah.
yeah, yep. Those are very inexpensive two binders that I really like, and they're very
Oh,
effective.
yeah, health food
Um,
shops should have binders. Like it's very easy to get binders. You know, they're not
yeah,
expensive.
no,
They're
they're
good to
yeah.
have just. They're even good to just have as part of your like diet, because I find they're because they get rid of like toxins and stuff in your body. So like even for my cats, I give them that dietaceous earth every dinner time. I put it in their food, and I find it's just better for their overall health just
Be
having that.
careful because it'll dry them out. You got to be careful
Yeah.
because
I
we'll talk about the
I only
animals
put
in a
like a
minute.
tiny bit, but they have a
Yeah.
lot of water around, so
So I
but
found one of my flukes. This is one of my largest flukes that has ever come out of me. This one was about 4 inches. It was a good 4 inches.
oh my goodness, look at that. I think you gotta tap the screen. Yeah. Oh my god, that is not pretty. That
He was
looks
huge. He was a big one. That was a
that
very
looks
interesting one that
nasty.
came out. Yeah. Um,
Claudine,
and then here's a
do you
baby one that was next to it. I'm sorry. So see right there, you
yeah.
can see the baby one. Yeah, there's a baby one right there.
Claudine, would you recommend that drinking some type of oil would help in all the detoxing too? Because it's gonna help. Like I've found that, like I started drinking olive oil, and I found the olive oil on top of everything I'm doing. It seems to be really moving stuff along. I don't
Yeah,
know if it
that's
like
why I give the oregano oil, castor oil
yeah
in my regimens. I do suggest that they take this at nighttime before they go to bed.
mhm,
There's not a night that doesn't go by that I don't take a couple tablespoons of castor oil myself. Hemp oil
yeah
is another thing.
mhm,
So I capsule all this stuff for people. Hemp oil is really good, is another really good one. But yes, you need to moisten that body. You need to,
yeah to help
yeah.
like go through, because they even say like um there's no point parasite cleansing if you haven't opened your pathways, and that's like all that all around the face and the ears and opening all the pathways, because when all the things are dying and stuff, if your pathways aren't opened up, they just get all jammed up and stuck. So like lymphatic massage is also supposed to be something you do to help the parasites flush out of you by opening pathways. So I would imagine oil would help open pathways too, because it's getting the system moving.
It pulls
Yeah,
all that residual out. It really does.
yeah,
And then, like I said, it nourishes the body again, oils it back up. And Nova says, yeah, you just have to look for food grade ones. Yes. Thank you, Nova, for adding that. Yes. Look for food grade diatomaceous earth and charcoal and all this
mhm,
stuff that we're talking about, and you'll be completely fine. And then she says, my friend looked like a worm. Yes, it does, doesn't it? It was huge. It was big. It was, oh, when I gave birth to that one, you guys, I was just like, I knew.
I feel
You
so
guys,
good.
again, do you see these pictures that I'm showing you? You don't see anything else in the toilet.
Yeah,
And I am showing you pictures of the full toilet. Oops.
that's hectic.
Of me, of the ones in the toilet and then me fishing them out. Okay. So these things don't come out with other bio that you I know that they're coming out because it's always this urge. Yeah, get to the bathroom right now, Claudine. You got to go. Like, and you'll see me dart. I don't care what I'm doing, who I'm talking to, where I'm going. I run straight to the bathroom, and then this really weird sound of air will come out. I mean, you call it a fart if you want, but it's not any fart I've
It's
never had in my
hard.
life.
I know it's like air that's been trapped inside your body,
It's a
and
pop.
like
It's a
yeah,
pop. It
yeah.
pops. And then then you look in the toilet and you're like, okay, here we go. Now, I have had a situation where I couldn't get to the bathroom. And it literally just fell out while I was going to the while I was driving home. I was like, oh, I was freaking out because I can feel it and it's all squirmy. I'm like, oh my God, I gotta get home. I gotta get home. But yeah, that's the life
That's
of
scary.
detoxing parasites. Um,
Better out than in, but I'd
yep,
rather
yep.
them out of me. I'm so happy when I can see a parasite. I don't really fish around in my poop like some people do because it's just, but if I see one, like I'll go, okay, I'll go get the toothpick and investigate what that is. And whenever I find one, I get so excited. Like,
I'm always
it's
sending
so
you the pictures of them. I'll send a
yeah,
picture to
I
anyone
always
who will
take
look at them. I get all excited too.
I
Um,
always take pictures and send them to you. Some people get really grossed out, so you can't just send them to anyone. You have to have your chosen people that get equally as excited as you with these types of
oh
things.
yeah,
But
yep. And
yeah,
then I got this one. I'm gonna call this one, I believe. Okay, so these were the biggest ones, and about three of these came out of me. And this is with the biofilm, you guys. So this is very graphic. Um, okay,
yeah,
I'm sorry. I'm retarded. Yeah, let me go this way. There we go. Okay, can you see those one? That
yeah,
one?
yeah. That's a that's a good nest.
Yeah, that's a very good nest. This one, and then if you look, then I had a smaller one that came along with this one. Look how long that thing is.
Wow, that is
It was
long.
two of them. Yeah, it was two of them. And one of them, you actually can see the worms. Hmm. I could have sworn we can see the worms at one of these coming out like ahead of the worm.
I
Give
remember
me a
you
sec.
showing me. Yeah.
Yeah, remember maybe that was another one that I had.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't open this one up too much. There was one that I thought that I did. No, this must have been the one that I did not open up, but you can kind of see a little bit on this one where there's kind of like a worm head
Oh
when I
yes.
zoom
Oh,
in.
God, that looks so gross.
But I do have one where I did kind of cut it and you can see it's all wormy. It was
Mhm.
so gross, but that must have been another one. This is just like slop. I do believe that that one is a tapeworm.
Tapeworm.
Yeah, a tapeworm.
Aren't they the ones that are connected to your whole body part and they keep you real skinny?
That's what they say, but I never had a problem with and I had all these parasites and I can gain weight just fine.
Yeah, me too. I have not had a problem with that. If anything, they make me more fat because they bloat me. Like my
Hmm.
stomach gets real bloated when I eat, and it's like just all swollen, and I barely eaten anything. It's just because I've got a parasite infection that's just rampant in there. So if
Yeah.
anything, they make me fatter. I don't like it. That's why I want to
Yeah,
get rid of it.
that was my number one thing was I every time I would eat something, especially something that was sugary. Um, I mean, I've been off sugar now, and then mind you guys, all of this started happening to me after I hit the 1 year mark of not eating no sugar. All of these
Mm,
things started coming out of me, all these different parasites that I'm showing you guys. I mean, aggressively the way they are after I was 1 year off of sugar.
mm,
And from that, and that all started in December. I hit my 1 year mark. And then from December until now, I've got this, all this stuff coming out that, January and February is when all these big, big, big ones came out. Now, what I've got coming out of me, what recently came out of me, I think this was on, okay, this was yesterday morning.
oh my goodness. So they're still coming out.
These are very small, very tiny ones. I
Yeah.
don't know what I'm researching these ones right now to see if I can figure out what they are. And then I got one that I dissected. I'm crazy, you guys. I know. I should just flush
I
the
don't
toilet and just keep on going, but I ain't doing that.
No, I have this one lady that I'm friends with on Facebook. Like I don't know her, but like she does this kind of stuff. And she had picture after picture after picture of like she sifted through her entire bowel movement, and she like, she's taking out this and taking out that, and I was like, wow, that's heavy.
I'm
That's like
really lucky. Mine don't come out with my bowel movements. Like I said, mine come out free
that.
flowing, separated.
Well, I don't
Okay,
know if
and
it's a bowel movement, but she's obviously sifted through everything, like taken it out of the toilet and gone through a lot.
so here it is. Okay, it just looks suspicious. Anything that looks suspicious to me, I take it, and then I went and I cut it open, and this is what it looks like cut open.
Oh my goodness. It's like flesh.
Yeah,
That's
it's a
really
very
gross.
wait,
Yeah. Has like flesh, like it's, yeah. Oh, that's nasty.
and it was lit. It was only like this big. So those are the ones that
Hmm.
are coming out now, and I'm just kind of I don't know which ones those are. I'll let you guys
They
know.
must
And
be, they're probably coming out from the ivermectin that you're having. I need some of this stuff, but
yeah, for this is coming from that could yeah, exactly. This is
I,
what the ivermectin is doing, and it's kind of giving my body a break from all the other stuff. So when
yeah.
I go back on doing all my other stuff, we'll see what happens. I will never stop. This is my way of life now. I will always be clean. Maybe I'm thinking it might be a nematode. So I'm researching nematodes right now, you guys. So that's what I'm thinking it might be. So maybe on by next Monday I'll be able to tell you guys what it is. But all this stuff just happened to me recently. So
I reckon it's the ivermectin that you're doing that's
oh,
moving
that's
your
exactly what's
hormone.
helping. Yeah, yeah, that's exactly what's
I
helping
want
flushing it.
some.
And I'm hoping that those are the ones that I believe that I had inside my head.
Hmm.
So that's what I'm hoping, and that's why I'm doing the ivermectin, because I needed something that I can. Because see, I believe that if you can get straight to the source,
Hmm.
if you can get the medicine straight to the source, you're going to have a better outcome. And I like the idea that I could take the ivermectin and put it around my mouth, all the way to the back, and just let it sit there as long as I want before I took a drink of water. So yeah, that,
Like that.
and it's working. I believe it's working. So when like I said, when I find out what that one is, I'll let you guys know. So those are we've got, like I said, we've got other ones. We've got the roundworms, we got the hookworms, we've got the nematodes, tapeworms, whipworms. So
A lot.
there's a lot. There's a lot. Um, and these things invade the body, they get in the blood, they cause all kinds of diseases. I think that's where a lot of our autoimmune diseases come from.
Mm-hmm. I
I I probably couldn't explain to you how healthy I feel, how I am not weighed down. I'm clairvoyant. I don't, I already was able to keep that control of my mind. I don't have all that monkey mindness at all. It's like completely gone. And I get that right there is important for the ones that enter your body through your aura.
mm-hmm. Do you feel a lot lighter on your feet, Claudine? Do you like your you know how sometimes you feel real heavy, like especially when you're sick and bloated, like you just feel heavier on your feet with being very clean from parasites and like compared to the average person. Do you feel like real light? Do you have like a lot of energy? Do you can get around like you kind of
I have
float?
tons of energy. I have really good
Yeah.
energy. I have a really good system. It doesn't hurt after I eat. Not my
Mm-hmm.
tummy doesn't get bloated. I don't have all those weird noises anymore, and all those weird. Well, I do get weird feelings sometimes because I still kind of feel things move sometimes. But at
Mm-hmm.
least I know now that they're out of me, and I'm going to completely know that they're out of me and that I am pretty parasitic free when my skin stops itching.
Mm, yes, the itchy
Hmm.
skin. I always get it
Hmm.
around full moon. Oh, it drives me nuts. The other night at work on proper like full moon, I kept feeling it around my eyes, like a fluttering, like and it was just
Hmm.
annoying me. And it's like that's got to be like some kind of parasite like activity going on. Like it would feel like something was in my eye, but nothing was there. But I would feel like a fluttering with it, and it was making me itchy and like it's those
Yep.
damn parasites because it's full
Yep.
moon. That's when they're all
Yep.
active. They're all
Yep.
moving around the body.
And that's what they do. If you have itchy skin, the minute you take, let's say you swallow those cloves, and within 20 minutes or even maybe later on that night, you start to feel an itch that you just can't get to, especially on your back, your arm. It could be anywhere. It could be your
Anyway,
ears,
your feet.
anywhere. And then those are parasites. Those are parasites reacting to the anti parasitic medicine that you just put in your body.
Because you
And I
disturb
still
the
get,
nest. That's what
hmm?
I got. You disturb the nest. When you disturb
Yes.
the nest, you feel an itchiness.
And it happens at night when the sun goes down for some reason. They'll really start getting active. And when that goes away, then I'll know that I've got control of all of these parasites that are, they should be out of me. And I still get itchy. I was still itchy a little bit last week. Not a whole lot, not like I used to be, but now we're talking about now I just don't want to itch. Um, um, but that's a sign of, yeah, I mean, I'm still at it. I'm still going at it. So as long as I'm itchy, I will not stop.
I think as
I'll
long as
never
you're
stop.
human, but you need to protect your body
No, I
from.
don't think I'll ever stop. As long as I'm in this war on this planet, and they're putting chemtrails in that sky, and they're putting toxins in my food, I can't
Yeah,
stop. How
yeah,
can you stop?
I agree. I make it part of my life, like
It's just my
and
way of life.
and even like just drinking binders all the time to just because you don't want to have a body that like a host so that all the toxins and heavy metals will make it more your body becomes more of a host to inhabit these things inside your body. So like I just do everything I can to try and like keep my body so where it's not a host. Like I don't eat processed sugars and lots of processed foods because it's like that's just making my body uh, to inhabit these things. So
Yeah,
I
you're
feel
creating
like,
a home for them. No,
yeah, so I want to make my body as homeless as possible for these
yeah, you
things.
don't want to create an environment
No.
for them at all. Nova says, I've had that on my feet or on my hands. They would swell where my veins were. Yes,
Yeah.
the feet will be itchy. Yeah, your feet get itchy, your
Yeah.
hands get itchy. And you know what else? I know this is going to be kind of crazy, but if your butthole gets itchy at night when you're sleeping,
You definitely
because they
have.
come out when you're relaxed, nice and relaxed, they will come out and they will breathe.
Mm-hmm.
And that is I believe those are whipworms, the ones
Mhm.
that come out around your anus at night when you're sleeping. And
Mhm.
if your
Yeah.
anus is itchy. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You have just basic worms if your bum is itchy when you're sleeping.
Mm-hmm.
You should just go to the chemist and get basic worm tablets if that's happening. At least, at the very least, that should be that
Yeah.
should be acquired by you.
They can get rid of those with pharmaceuticals. You can also do it naturally, and you can get your blood tested. My next thing I want to do is in a few months. I'm thinking my birthday is coming up next month. Maybe I might go get my blood tested and see where I'm at with all of this, and show them my pictures. Go to somebody.
So do the medical,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Go
Doctors
go
are
to.
hard with this kind of stuff, with parasites and stuff. They
Oh no,
really, I have
I'm not.
found,
I'm
they're
not
very
going to it. Mm-mm.
rejecting of it. Like when I try to ask them, I'm like, well, do you think it could be parasites? And then parasite, oh, we don't know about that type, and they just like shut it down. And
I
you might
won't.
be you're gonna get too much anxiety if you think about that. Like that's not what the major issue is. Like they don't really like to,
I
yeah.
won't go to a doctor here, especially after working with some of these naturopathic doctors. You know what I went through, and I don't trust them. I know there's a testing facility right around the corner from here where my facility is. I'll go in there. I'll probably have to drop about $600 and get my blood tested, and they will test me for certain. They have different kits for me to parasite kits that I can use, and I'll go do that. I trust that better than I do going to any naturopathic or any Western doctor. Um,
Yeah.
I'm not okay with them. Not after what I went through last year with that one naturopathic doctor. Mm-mm.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, I just don't trust them.
You're going to the right places.
She knew I was sick. She knew I was sick. She knew what I was going through. And not one time did she try to tell me it was a parasite. She told me I was crazy for even thinking that. So I won't.
I mean, but
And
then you go
Nova,
for yourself and you get yourself better, so you know that it's a
mm-hmm.
parasite. You know that
Oh,
it's a
it was a
parasite.
parasite.
Even they say tumor, not tumor, cysts and stuff that show up on the body, that's a parasite
It's a
infection.
parasite.
It's it's very. I've seen there's like some semi famous person, but really beautiful girl, and she is like she does all her videos and some kind of influencer, but she was saying, recording about how she had this like blurriness coming over her eye, and like within weeks, and she showed like she has, they call it pre-cancer, and it's showing up on her eyeball, and it's like a cyst on her actual, and they're talking about it's cancerous, but when I saw it I thought that's a parasite infection. Like if you ever were to see a parasite infection just explode on someone, uh, but on their eyeball, like as it's coming out, it's like that's got to be a parasite infection. And just, I guess your body just becomes so, it's like a little
And you know
cyst.
what's really good for that one to help when it gets in the eyeballs, because I'm doing my parasitic cleanse on my eyeballs right now, and this is a really good one for Nova too. Um, is I aged urine. I get my aged urine and I put that in my eyes, and then I also use this stuff called um, MSM, and it's drops, and I put SMM droplets inside of my eyes,
Mhm.
and that's a parasitic. Yeah, and
Yeah, they give you all medical stuff from Western medicine to fight cancer, but I'm thinking, I wonder if they did it like in a parasitic way to attack the parasite nest that's coming, it would
there's
probably
no
be more.
money in that. There's no money in the
Oh,
cure. They just, they're not going to do that. And I wanted no, I know Nova's watching, so I just want to let her know that we will be starting to work with you on detoxing some of these parasites. I had it. Ann and I were talking about your situation, about how you and I had we literally had a 4-hour conversation the other day on Saturday regarding parasites. Um, Nova and I did.
mhm.
And yeah, it was a good conversation. I was
Did you
really
tell her
able
to jump
to,
around in the morning when she
huh?
first wakes up? Did you tell her to jump around in the morning and
When she
like
first went, yeah, she has
wake
her
the
own,
sun?
yeah, she's starting to work out. Yeah, she's starting to do her stuff. Yeah, she's looking into this stuff.
Mhm.
Um, But
Jump around, jump.
I sent her my
Everyone,
girl, the the lymphatic girl that I'm going to send you
yes.
that I just discovered. Yeah, I just sent her um those videos. But
Because that's another thing for helping parasites like come out of your body is like what you're doing with your lymphatic system. Like how I was saying before, opening the pathways, like they say, do like a lymphatic massage, especially around the face and
lots of massaging.
sinus and ears, because you have a lot of lymph nodes that are from like your collarbone up. So you have like a really big lymphatic system that sits there. So you want to like massage all that, because all the parasites can sit in there too. So opening the pathways to help flush it out of your lymphatic system, and jumping around when you first wake up in the morning, just jumping up and down on your feet and shaking out all your body, shake out your arms, shake out like, and just jump, 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 jump. That helps open pathways. It helps flush out, loosen up parasites and stuff in the lymphatic system and helps flush them out too. So stuff like that can help, all of, because I think it's like you can't just go after parasites as like one thing and that, okay, that's going to rid it. I think it's like a whole like thing that you do with yourself to help in any way you can to get these things like out of your system, not blocking up parts of your lymphatic system. And yeah, so I know all these things can definitely help. And also, it's raising when you jump up and down first thing in the morning, it's going to raise your vibration pretty quickly. Put on some music and jump up and down. Instantly, your vibration's going to, be a lot higher than just moping around first thing. And vibration, I think, also helps with all that kind of stuff because your energy, you know high vibrating is going to help get the parasites not sticking onto you. Like, all of it matters. So
And I feel that her body, because of the things that she's been going through these past couple of months with her detoxing just straight off of from the Suboxone and the birth control implant
mhm.
that she had, and what's showing up right now with her, which is staph infection, which is candida, is her body's pushing out and letting her know it's time for her to release these. That
Yes.
is at least what I'm feeling. So yeah, we're her and I are going to be working on getting her on a candida parasite cleanse. I think
Yes.
that's where she should start. Go slow, go low, and she is starting to work out, which is really good for her because she didn't even have the energy to even get up out of bed, for a very long time. So her being able to get up, start moving that body of hers and going, she goes bicycle riding with her son.
Oh,
So
awesome.
yeah, that's very good. It's really good. So yeah, and then again, like I said, I sent her videos of my lymphatic girl that I like to watch now in the morning. I'll be sending her your way too. I just found her, but gosh, I love what she does. It's so easy. It's easy
Mm.
stuff.
It is. It isn't actually that complicated or difficult. It's actually quite easy.
It's
But it's
fun and it's super
Yeah,
fun.
I think so. I love it. I wake up in the morning and I'm just like, I put my headphones on. I go and I go to make celery. Drink celery juice every single morning. I wake up. First thing I drink, and I go do that and I listen to my music and I just dance and I just do a little bounce while my stuff is like blending in the thing. And yeah, but I love it because I find like it just lifts my vibration really quickly first thing in the morning, and it gets everything like moving and I'm happier, and I'm yeah, you're just ready to take on your day a bit more in a positive way. But the moving and stuff, like, you can lift vibration through your thought and all that kind of stuff, but I really do, for me personally, I find moving my body and getting it just flexible and all just, flowing in with each other. It really does make a huge difference to my vibration in myself and what I'm
Because you're
presenting.
moving that
So,
lymphatic system. You've got
mhm,
to work on moving that lymphatic system because our lymphatic system is so stagnant because of these parasites and everything else that we've been doing, pharmaceuticals, bad
mhm,
food, bad thoughts, everything. And when you get the lymphatic system going early in the morning, it just really feels good, and it does
It does.
raise your vibration. It really
Mhm.
does.
Mhm.
And like I said, it's really simple. And the one thing is doing a lot of jumping. And
Mhm.
then the funny thing about it is slapping these areas where you have your lymphatic system, and then going in and massaging them. And
Yeah.
it,
Pretty
once you
much
start
wanting to
doing it,
wake it
you won't
up.
stop. Hmm.
You're
Hmm.
waking it up. You want to wake it
Yeah.
up.
Yep. Yep. And you're getting it moving, and yes. And then that, getting that going naturally gets your fascia going too.
Yep. Well,
So
it all
it's
runs.
just a,
It runs through each other. Your lymphatic system runs through your fascia. So your fascia is, I think it's 80% water, and water holds memory, and the water is your lymphatic system. So that's
yes.
what's, you know, that's why they say your fascia holds your DNA. And it
Hmm.
kind of makes sense. Your fascia holds your lymphatic system, and that's 80% of your fascia is water, your lymphatic system, and water holds memory. So your DNA running through your fascia makes kind of sense in the fact of your lymphatic system and the water that it holds in it. So you want that to be flowing, and you want the waters to be clean. That's what I always pick up is you want the waters that run through you to be clean. You will always have water that has to run through your body because it's
Hmm.
our body's made up of water, but you want the waters to be clean and you want the waters to flow freely.
Yes. If your fluid is clean, your urine is clean, your blood is clean. If your blood is clean, your urine is clean.
Mhm.
So that is very important. And a lot of people don't know this. I know a lot of people do know this, and this is a very simple thing, but anything that has to do with your thyroids, that is your lymphatic system.
Mhm. Yep, it is.
Uh, we were talking about somebody last week regarding their thyroid. Remember, we were talking about
Yeah,
that particular person. That person has no clue that the thyroid problems they have is part of their lymphatic system.
yeah. Well, because they just don't teach this. I don't understand
No, they
why
don't. They don't. Yeah.
in
Yeah.
medical they don't teach us, like doctors don't teach you about your lymphatic system. They don't emphasize on it. They don't. You just have, like, I
They just
didn't know.
take out your lymph nodes. They take out your lymph nodes. They take out
Yeah,
yeah, and that is your lymphatic system too. Your lymph nodes, all that, all of it, your thyroids, all of that
all of it's all connected.
is the lymphatic system.
Hmm. Well, your fascia is your body. Your fascia,
Mhm.
from what I understand, your fascia is your light body inside your physical human body. You have your fascia, and your fascia is your light body. So if you can get your fascia moving and flexible, and all the oil, for the machine to run, and the lymphatic system to be running smoothly, you're going to feel lighter all over because your fascia is going to, that's your light body inside you. That's the electric body that's all turning on, and it's done with food, it's done with water, it's done with lymphatic, clean lymphatic system. So yeah, that's that's how I see the fascia inside the body. When people say, like, in all this spiritual new age stuff, and everyone's talking about, oh, your light body, and it's going to crystalline. For me, on a human 3D explanation for all that spiritual talk is, yeah, your fascia. So your fascia is your light body. If you want to access your light body, you got to access and understand how your fascia works, and then you can access your light body. And that is, how you take care of your everything that's running through it.
Oh
So
yeah, yeah. I used to say that too. That we're becoming crystalline
yeah, your light body,
from,
but that's
yeah,
what
we're
your
going
fascia.
from, because your 18th or 24th DNA chromosomes being activated or something like that. I
Your
remember.
fascia.
Yeah, it is. It is.
It's
No, I
your
agree
fascia.
with you 1000%. And
Yeah.
it's just lies. It's more lies. That's all it
Yeah.
is.
It's
And
spiritualized, that one.
it is spiritualized. It is. They lie, 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 lie. That's why I don't like to call myself spiritual. I like to just say I'm having a different type of spiritual experience than most.
Yes.
And spirituality to me is detoxing my body, clearing my energies, keeping my environment clean, and everything I do just be a clean, wholesome lifestyle.
Yes. I agree. I absolutely agree with what you're saying. And
Mhm.
I don't know, the whole spiritual. I was on that Kundalini Facebook, and everyone can just write whatever, and some white guy who's become a monk and has been a monk for like 10 years or something had a rant, and he's like having a rant about the new spiritual, new age stuff, and just saying how it's all full of lies, and if anyone wants the real spiritual, you know what it means, come to him and stuff. And I just read, and then everyone like jumped onto it, and it's all about ego, and it's just like ego after ego after ego after, and it's just, I was like, whoa. But like, I got what he was saying, because I do agree with, there's a lot of like fake spiritual crap out there, and it's becoming a fad. So I guess there's a lot of people who think they're going to make money off of it, and they tell you lies, and they tell you all kinds of like, but you might believe it because that's what you're vulnerable. So you like, I think that's why people kind of put their nose up to spiritual people, or when people say they're spiritual, because it's like, well, what kind of lies are you gonna come at me with, with now. I got what he was saying, but I think when you are like clean and healthy and have a clear understanding, you don't have all these parasites affecting your brain and being connected to archons that affect your psyche and your emotions and stuff. I think when you're clean like that, it doesn't really matter what spiritual crap is on out there. You kind of know what's working for you and what's not working for you. Like, what is spiritual? Like, until you can actually prove it, it's what this person says, it's what that person, everyone has their different. And when we're gonna fight and be like, well, I know, and I'm more spiritual, and my spiritual is the real, and mine and theirs isn't, like, okay, just get your body clean, and then we can all, like, that's all I think. 'Cause I don't know, I didn't really agree with the way that some people go about it. I get really, really turned off with like spiritual talk when it's like spiritual ego trying to outdo other spiritual ego. And sometimes they do it all like with a humbleness, and it's like, whatever. It's still the same thing. You think that what you think and believe in is better than and more true than what this person is saying, and or that's just your spiritual ego thinking you're above. Like, we're not, no one's above. Like, just worry about the physical body being clean, like being
And
parasitic.
when you have, a clean vessel, your awareness is just my awareness. I'm able to meet people where they're at. I'm able to see their parasites front and center. I can already see what they have. And that doesn't mean that I'm any better than them. But I do understand that they don't have the awareness that I have. And that is okay, because I'm here to help them and to get them to understand, what it's about with me. And if
Mhm.
they want it, if they're interested, they're interested. If they're not, they're not. It doesn't matter to me, because we're all here together in this human life. You know what I mean?
We
And
are.
and I understand. And I'm so glad to have arrived to where I am. I am so happy because as you and I both know, we've been doing a lot of work,
Oh
and
yeah. I think
and
our
it's
entire
discipline.
lifetime has
Yeah,
been
it's a
work.
discipline. It's a pure discipline to not fall for the earthly things that everyone else falls for, including trends. Everything's a trend. Now spirituality is a trend. Now this is a trend in spirituality. That's a trend. Kundalini, tarot cards, channeling. It all becomes a trend. That's, to
Yes.
me, is how I'm looking at it. And
I think the ET channeling is the new trend. You see a lot of people trying to,
yeah, it's a new
say,
trend.
I think because Bashar
Everyone's channeling
has,
now.
Bashar has been doing for a while, and people are starting to take notice. Like, I think people are going, oh, like, well, he's saying he's an alien, so now I'm going to say I'm speaking for an alien. So I see a lot of that coming through. The
Oh, it's
energy.
happening. Oh, we got everyone channeling everybody,
I
Jesus, Mary,
know.
all these people. And, for me, hell no, nobody's channeling through this freaking body right here. You know how much work it took to get where I'm at today? And you think I'm going to let some entity come in this vessel and take over? Hell no. And then lay their eggs? Ain't happening. That is not happening. Not
No,
doing it. No,
no.
I'm not in. Yeah, I
I
just
will not let
not into any of
anything.
that.
I will not let anything, like, even to say something can. I will never speak those words, because the demons and stuff, they hear the things that we speak. They can't see our thoughts, but they hear. So if you say out loud, "Oh, I want this to come into my body," like, I don't say anything. I'm just always saying, like, nothing can come into my body. Like, I'm definitely not inviting something to come channel through me.
No,
I
hell
want
no.
Anne's mind. I
Yeah,
want my own mind.
I'll just be me, 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 me. And then, because, but when I do see someone channeling, I'll be like watching them. I do get
Yeah,
intrigued, and I watch their every move. I've been watching
is the
Bouchard for a
real
very,
invite.
very long time. Yeah,
Mm,
Bouchard and AE. I mean, I've been watching them for quite some time. And let me tell you what, Bouchard he doesn't look well. He really
mm,
doesn't. Um, he's been doing it for so long. I mean, I
mm. It's
believe
not
that when you
everyone.
you share your vessel with that type of energy, because think about it, for that energy to be able to come into this dense body, and I do believe these people are full of parasites themselves.
Mm,
That takes a lot of energy from you. I mean, they are
absolutely.
taking, they are just wiping and sucking you out dry. And
Absolutely.
I believe that Bashard and I are the same age.
Mm.
Look at a current picture of him. He
Yeah,
does not. I like to watch him channel. He does say some interesting stuff that does
he
resonate. I mean,
does.
I'm not denying that. He does say
That's
some
very
really cool stuff.
mm.
But uh,
He's
and
one of
I
the ones that I believe more. Like, I don't really believe channelers much. I feel like a lot of them are, like, I don't know. I don't feel the spirit there. I don't feel something talking through them. Bashar, he's one of the ones I'll take more notice of, because he does say some very interesting stuff. But I don't know. Is it really something coming into his body, or is it him, his higher self, connecting? I just don't feel like. I don't know. I don't feel like a presence there with him. I feel like more it's like he's connecting to something, and it's speaking, and it's coming through him,
it
and
is.
but it's his
Yeah.
higher self speaking. It's really just himself. That's how I feel. But
I
I don't
don't
know.
think so. I think it's
I
an
don't
entity. I think
see
he shares his body with a
an
whole
actual,
freaking alien.
maybe. I don't know. See, I'm when it comes to the alien talk, I'm still like so like Elizabeth April. I still watch her stuff, and I'm like, do people believe this stuff? Like Galactic Federation. Like, I just kind of like freeze up, because I don't have any definite, like, okay, that's real. That's so I just kind of go, okay, I don't know, but maybe these ETs are speaking through them, and
I
yeah,
think so. I don't give them much attention. Like I said, when it happens, it's kind of, I can't take my eyes off of it. I gotta watch it, and I do my discernment. I kind of laugh at it, and then I pray for them and send them, healing vibes, because I know whatever they're doing, whatever's going on, is very hard on the body.
yeah.
But I do like to listen, and I do share my stuff. You know me, I find all kinds of weird stuff on YouTube University. I will listen to people. I like to listen to anyone who has anything to do with the Cabal, Illuminati, anyone who has any kind of knowledge about that. And I don't care if they claim to be full on Christian or what, but their knowledge is their knowledge of what they know. Um,
Mm,
and some of them have some really good information, because I like
yeah,
to learn as much as I can about the enemy, you
yeah,
know. And
yeah.
a lot of
I
people
just
out
have lots
there,
of discernment.
yeah, just like that video you sent me of the guy who was in, he's the bloodline of Illuminati. He is the
Mm.
bloodline of one of these evil
He says
from
Nephilim.
Satan or
The
Lucifer
Nephilim.
or Neville,
Nephilims.
yeah, Neville, yeah, he's from say Lucifer himself. That's who Lucifer is,
Yep,
isn't it?
yep, Nephilims
Now,
from.
listening to that type of interview, I like that stuff.
Yeah,
That stuff is
I
where
listen
I
to
will
that.
get some information because either it's going to give me new information or it just gives me confirmation of what I know and what I've seen myself with this stuff.
Yeah.
So that's the kind of stuff I like to look at and listen to. These other people who are just making a whopping ton of money on some
It's
crazy stuff.
it's amazing. I find the people who actually don't have that that make up stuff actually make more money than the people who tell the truth. I find the people who tell the truth and really are speaking from somewhere and speaking some kind of really powerful truth. I find they don't become much of anything. They have their little following. They'll have people that tune in because they know that they're saying something that's like, and it's resonating, but they don't really go much for, like, they don't become much of anything.
That's
And
okay.
then
They're not supposed to.
no, exactly. But the people who are just telling like lies and making stuff up in the spiritual realm, they seem to get the biggest followings and they seem to like make the most money. And I'm just thinking like, why are people buying lies? Why do people always want to seem to buy lies over buying the truth? Like, why is it that
Because the
I,
truth, it hurts.
the truth is harder?
The truth is hard. And like I've always told you, I feel that humans deserve the truth. And
Mm.
it's important. I want the truth. I'd rather be kissed with the truth than slapped with a lie.
I love the truth. I want everything to be the truth.
I deserve the truth and I
Mm.
want the truth.
Mm.
And when I hear some of these people talk or I've heard some stuff and they start like you said, they just start saying all these lies. They astral travel to the White House.
They just say some stuff and I'm just like, wow, like
What?
what? It just
What? Yeah.
it really is. And then I just look at and see that people like, lap it up and they follow them and they make all this have this huge fun. And I'm
They
just
make
like,
a lot of
how
money.
does this happen? Yeah, it blows my mind. When it comes to the spiritual realm, that's where I'm very like I become very, very my shield and my guard goes up heavily when it comes to the spiritual realm. When it comes to the physical realm, I kind of just like bounce through life. Like I'm like, okay, well, my team needs to take care of me. Like, oh, it's 3D. It's like I got to do this. But when it comes to the spiritual realm, anything spiritual is going to come at me or someone. I'll wake up. I'll sit up and I'll pay attention and I will use my discernment on, is this real or is this not real? Is this real for me? Is this real for what I believe in? Or is this just a bunch of mumbo jumbo?
And
Even
doesn't
like,
matter. And doesn't matter. Do
yeah,
you
and
even need to be
exactly.
wasting any of your energy on it? You know what I
Because
mean?
that stuff really does affect my energy. When it comes to the spiritual realm, it really does affect my energy and it affects my vibration so strongly. So, I do protect myself from it. I don't want rubbish that's just going to suck out drain my energy with this rubbish that they're telling me and change my vibration. Like, I want my own vibration. I want it to be real. I want it to be high. I want it to
But you
be
got to
based
protect
on.
that. It's your job to
Yes.
protect that.
Yep. So yeah, when it comes to the spiritual realm, I use my discernment very strongly for that. Yeah, I won't just take in any any someone telling me that, oh, I'm channeling this or I am this or yeah, it's crazy. It blows my mind that people take it and believe it and buy into it, but each to their own. Each
Everyone's journey is different. Like I always tell you, the stuff that you and I do and doing these lives, only the ones who have the ears to hear what we have to say are going to hear it. And it's for them. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Um, and I know there's a lot of people who's interested in what we say. I got a phone call today by he's a pro golfer. I'm not going to say his name. Keep him private. But he called me today, and he's like, "You remember those parasite things that you were talking about a few months ago when I saw you?" And I go, "Yeah." And he goes, "Can I make an appointment tomorrow? Can we talk some more about?"
I think people are going to start believing the stuff a lot more. because I don't know why, but I feel like our parasites are being activated. I don't know what is
I think so.
activating them, but something is activating them. I ask a lot of people. I ask smart people like I trust, and I think they're very smart people, both physically and spiritually. And I ask them, like, what do you think it is? And we've come down to 5G and all this stuff going, being transmitted into our atmosphere. Like, is it doing something to these parasites? Like, they sat inside my body for years and years and years, and I was fine. I was just, maybe a bit chubbier. But all of a sudden, it's like I can't breathe. I can feel them fluttering. I can feel itchy. Like, what's happening? What's making these things go nutsos in our body? Maybe
And
it's
that
5G. I don't know.
EMF waves, I think that'd be a great topic to talk about next Monday. I'd
Yeah.
really like to talk about EMF because they really do control that, the parasites in a certain
Yeah.
degree. And
Yeah.
another thing I wanted to say with everything we were talking about, all these other type of people, who are like spiritual leaders, let's just put it this way. They're not the type of people who we would take spiritual advice from. They're just not our cup of tea.
No. I'm very, very, very cautious on who I take my spiritual advice from.
Exactly. They're
Even
just not
pastors,
someone.
even
Huh?
some of these really famous, okay, I don't want to. I'm not allowed to say his name. There's a very famous one in America, JD something, but
JD
he,
Hutt?
yeah, J no, he was a black past preacher, and he was super famous in America. And there was some black chick, some black girl that does prophecies from God, she says, and she wears the apron on her head. She's very full on. TD Jakes. His name was TD Jakes.
Oh, okay. I know. Okay, okay.
Yes. And she said that he was friends with P. Diddy. She said he was homosexual. She said all these things. He was a false prophet. He is a false prophet. When they tell us to be aware of false prophets, he is a false prophet. But he has a following. Like, people follow him, people listen to him. He's super famous. He was out there with P. Diddy and being at his parties and stuff. But that's a spiritual leader that a lot of people listen to, and he not a very good
Because
man.
he has a buyout. He's another savior. That is what Americans do. They look for saviors. They look for buy-ins, buyouts.
Spiritual
Okay,
leader.
yes, and they love drama. They love, 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 love drama. And this is just what I see time and time again. And Nova just said that she's seeing commercials on the internet about parasites.
Oh, well, there you go. They're
Oh, people are probably trying to sell products, huh, Nova?
possibly. I'm telling you, Claudine, I feel like this parasite issue is going to just keep getting, because people are starting to feel something in their bodies. They're starting to get affected on a different level that they're not used to and they've never experienced. And it's like, it's both physically and it's also energetically. Like, I had a friend get attacked in his dream the other night really badly. Like, I got a text at 2:45 in the morning, and like, I just didn't. They were panicking, and can you figure out what's happening to me? And when they explained it to me, I thought, this sounds very parasitic. What you went through, like, it was energetically through a dream, but the way it happened, it feels like you need to go get a detox. And he's been saying, he needs to
But see,
detox and stuff.
but you have the dream realm,
Well,
uh,
they're
the
connected to
dream,
archons.
and there we go. You got the archon, you've got the
Yeah,
astral entities,
yeah.
parasites. We haven't even touched on those yet. You know what I
No,
mean?
that's what I mean. There's so
Next
much
week,
to
yeah. Tomorrow I'll be talking, and by the way, tomorrow I'll be live, you guys, tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock with the spiritual show that flows with Julie, Love Riot Warrior. And tomorrow morning, I think I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to touch a little bit on the cyborgs,
Mm-hmm.
the astral entities,
Mm-hmm.
the parasite archons,
Mm-hmm.
and then probably a little bit about our regular earthly ones that sit inside of our body. We covered a few of them tonight, but I'm very, very much into these cyborg ones right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and those are the ones that are created by this deep state. Those are deep state parasites. They're real humans. They are walking among us, but they have no souls. And
I
so
understand.
Very interesting. Yes, very interesting. And I've heard a couple of like the video you showed me of that guy who comes from that
Bloodline.
Luciferian cult.
Yeah.
Yep, yep. I've heard people like them, and they've been talking about these cyborgs.
Hmm.
So I've been kind of just tapping into it, and I find them very interesting. And I know that I've come across them because they have have you ever met someone and you're just like, they have very peculiar behavior? That
Hmm.
is just some
I
peculiar.
have.
Those are probably cyborgs.
Interesting.
They have no
So
soul,
interesting. That makes a lot of sense, but that makes a lot of sense to me because some
doesn't
people,
it?
yes,
How
it makes.
who in their life has not come across somebody and was like, or worked with somebody or known somebody who's just like, man, that there's something peculiar, something strange. I mean, but it's a human. It walks, it talks, it works with you, it interacts with you, but yet it has no soul.
Yeah, the consciousness, you can just feel the consciousness is like cut. It can only go to what it
They
is, and
have
it
none.
go
They
and it
have
doesn't.
none.
No, and you can never talk to these types of people about spiritual things and open their consciousness. It is completely shut, and
No,
you just have to accept them for what they are. I've
they
always
have no
wondered.
source light. They
I
have no
call
source light.
I call them bots in our
But
system, or
oh
NPCs,
yeah,
but more
cyborgs,
bots.
bots,
Yeah,
cyborg. Yeah,
bots.
that would be. I'm gonna put bots on there because that's kind of like
Yeah,
the same word. Yeah,
I call them
um,
bots. They're a
bots. Yeah,
bot. Like I
no,
just can't
that's
with them.
that's another word. Well,
They-
okay, we are at our 2 hour mark. We went a little bit over because we were late, and then we were videotaping, thinking we were live, and we were not. No, we were. It just shut off on us, and I had to restart it.
yeah.
So, all right, you guys, have a happy everything. Have a great week, and we will be back next Monday talking about basically the same stuff because that's what we do.
Totally.
We talk about
Yeah.
energy.
Yeah. Exactly. And if we say it enough, people might start to understand it easier.
Oh, we'll just keep going and going into it.
Yeah.
Hey, Nova loves us. Nova enjoys listening to us and stuff. So, and she needs us. And just because one person needs us, we will show up again.
Keep doing it. Absolutely.
Oh,
Absolutely.
okay, hon. Have a good week. I'll talk to you in a little bit.
Bye.
Bye bye.